Hi everyone, welcome back to Tales of Edeah, episode 10 this week. I'm pretty excited to see what we make of it, but first, and Beluga, you're already here, so I'm very glad about that. I want to shout out the Role Players Guild, and for anyone who isn't following them yet, you definitely should be. They sent me, let me turn off my virtual background for a second here to show off the amazing thing that they sent me. Here we go. This beautiful box for rolling dice and keeping dice in, which I am super happy with. Falcone made this for me, and I am so grateful. It is very cool, but yeah, definitely, you guys, if you're in the chat, or you guys here in our team, definitely go follow them on, let me put the link in the chat here. It is...
Gee, now I'm jealous.
You should be.
I got this janky old jewelry box that I stole from my mother.
I have at least like one of the snap dice trees, but
yeah, they are extremely cool. And I am extremely happy with it, which is what I'm going to be using tonight to kill you all. Or, well, hopefully not, but we'll see.
you can try.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Role Players Guild.
All right. TPK. Well, let's find out, shall we? I think we're all ready to begin, so let's dive right in. Postizia, March 15th, year 51 of the new era. A strong cold grips Postizia in its icy claws, but the citizens' hard work barely slows down. In the streets outside of the warehouse, the crowd, which had only minutes ago been battering at the doors and demanding justice, has now dispersed and gone back to their lives. Inside the warehouse still lie several corpses of men and women who attempted to attack and overpower the Ashen Hearts. By all accounts, a foolish endeavor, considering that these red-sashed criminals had tried before in greater numbers and failed. The large and now quiet warehouse does a surprisingly effective job of keeping out the noise of the street, and the Ashen Hearts are gathered in relative silence. They had come for the vile half-elf called Argyle Blackheart, but it seemed that he was not there, at least not above ground. In the corner of the warehouse waits a darkened hatch, made of unusually blackened wood, which beckons the attention of the more curious members of the Ashen Hearts. Could their enemy Argyle be hiding down there? Or had it all been a feint to lure the Ashen Hearts away while Argyle burnt down the Stormcrow Tavern? Wondering about these questions, the hatch had suddenly creaked open, ominously, and seems to be calling for your attention. Ashen Hearts, what would you like to do?
We were on our way, basically, right? So, and I think I didn't have time to say that like the previous session, but I wondered if there were anything, if there was anything in this warehouse that indicates that they were planning to burn the tavern, like explosives, anything flammable, something like that, or if just normal, I don't know, warehouse stuff.
Well, so far the only insights that you've gained into the contents of any of these crates and barrels that you've seen, so far you've only seen wine. A fine wine that was spilt on the ground, but nothing else that indicates any sort of explosive material, or flammable material at least. What actual explosives would look like is not necessarily something that you'd be familiar with, because it's still quite...
powder or something.
Yeah, black powder is still pretty new stuff, but even then, as far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any of that out in the open, so you can either investigate all of the crates and barrels as you like, but that will probably take some time, or you can make an estimated guess, or an educated guess.
Mm-hmm. Right, I'm not going to waste too much time on that. Just, generally checking around.
Okay.
Mostly focused on the hatch.
All right.
I get a general sense of how everyone is health-wise.
Why don't you guys describe to Myra briefly what you look like? in terms of health and well-being.
Not looking that okay, I'd say.
Beautiful as ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you hid. It's fine.
But a bit banged up. Like, you could estimate. I don't want to say like, oh, 30% health left or something like that, but I'm just, yeah, I've taken a few shots previously. Everybody focused me, basically me and Kira.
Yeah, I got some burns here and there. I'm banged up. Some bruises forming.
Yeah, but if you're going to get into extended combat, I need some healing.
Same
2
for me.
cure wounds, 1 to Tarnak, and 1 to Tahani.
Okay.
6 plus.
While Moria does that, I will tap into my newly discovered elven heritage, and I will cast Detect Magic
Okay.
to see if there is any magical, anything magical in the room. And I will specifically, as I'm doing it, pull out the flower.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Lycospore, right? Or is that no? Lycospore is the poison.
Mhm.
Sundrop is the flower that
Yeah.
grants. And I'll try to see if that actually pings my radar.
Okay. Yes, the flower itself, by default, like it's pulsating, but it doesn't. So detect magic typically gives you what type of school of magic it is. This doesn't have a school of magic. It's all the schools of magic. Like it's more than that even. It's just magic, literally like having a raw source of magic in your hands. And looking around, several of the crates have a similar sort of. I think detect magic has a visual aspect to it, so they have a sort of similar visual to them, but they're empty. So they've probably been used to move a flower like this, but they're now empty. You also look in the direction of the hatch, and you get a distinct necrotic aura. Not immediately from the hatch itself, but just from the general area. Like the air is sort of inundated with necrotic energy.
Right. Kevin, I'm guessing that the footpads were also carrying some of those flowers that maybe the red satchels, or they're not emanating
yes,
anything.
sorry, you are correct. But only 2 of them. Only 2 of them actually had more flour on them. Go ahead and roll a 1d4 for each of them.
Me or the guy
You
cast it? Okay.
No, but like you, I assume you were looking at the bodies as well, right?
Yeah, point him out to Turnock. Say probably should check those out.
Right. 2.
Turnock and sorry. I just wanted to tell you guys I put your healing in chat.
Oh, I've healed. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, good. And yeah, you Turnock, you recover probably 1 from each. Then 2 leaves of this sundrop or mistrim flower, the night sail that is so new, so strange. But of which you now have quite a supply as a group as a whole.
Yeah, I hand them over to Barnek, who I was not keeping any of them on me, and I'm guessing is Milosh there, by the way?
Yeah, I think he's just taking his phone call.
Okay.
So give him a second.
But yeah, I give the mistrim to Barnek.
All right.
So, I'm leading the way if Barnek's not, but I'm leading the way to the hatch.
Okay.
I turn to the group. Well, I guess we all know what's our next destiny here. So just go.
I'm as we're going down the hatch, the other platinum ring, I'm giving it to Tahani.
Okay. So Tani, you receive a platinum ring, and as your hand.
Shield other, right? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, as you're handing it over, all of you hear from the hatch distant screams, very distant screams, echoing up.
I just look over to the group. I just say, "Are we sure we want to do this?"
Well, the screams are far away, right? We can maybe walk around it? Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think that Ashen Hearts walk around anything. We just walk into things. So that's going to be
Y'all
a tough one to avoid.
Y'all should probably know that there is a necromantic energy coming up from that hatch as well.
That's terrifying.
Well, I just I look down, and what do I see? Is there the stairs? Is it too far away?
You look down and you see that it's indeed a stone staircase actually carved into the stone earth below, and it goes straight for about 10 feet and then it starts to spiral down.
Past the dancing lights.
Okay.
Just hold them there.
All right. So.
Dragonborns have dark vision.
Yeah.
Do I have dark vision? Yeah, I do too. I just I walk in and I'm expecting them to follow me, but I do walk in first.
Okay.
We all have dark vision, right? Or
Yeah,
is
there's
my wrong?
something.
Yes,
Okay.
I forgot I have dark vision.
Hold on. One thing. Actually, Dragonborn do not have naturally got dark vision. That's what I was checking.
I was one. I don't think I do.
Yeah.
But Barnack does. So what
Barnack
I
does.
do, I'm holding on the back of his shirt or whatever is the upper body thing
Okay.
that he's wearing. I'm just holding on the back and I just say lead the way.
All right. I just got a message. Barnack should be Milos should be here back in 1 minute.
Well, let me check out the descent here at least, in case there's anything funny going around, and I'll investigate for traps while Milos is gone.
All right.
at the very least.
Make a perception check as you send the dancing lights down the staircase and down the spiral.
Well, actually, that's what I was thinking because I have dark vision. I summoned them for turn.
Oh
on,
right, you don't have to. Okay, no, that's
so
fair.
I
that's
won't
fair.
send them down.
Okay.
It's for detecting traps. The traps still perception or investigation.
Well, you could. Okay, we'll roll investigation and perception because you can investigate
Okay.
obviously like the entrance, but you know the whole way down.
Yeah.
If you want, you can actually walk the whole way down. But I assumed you were more looking down than actually
Yeah,
going.
yeah. So perception will be 14,
Okay.
and investigation will be 17.
Okay. You feel quite confident that the entrance is not trapped. So the hatch itself and like the immediate vicinity does not have any traps associated with it. But as you look down, and maybe it's even the light of the dancing lights as they're just hanging around you and some of the, natural ambient light shining in, you see something glistening on the wall, and it's just this like smear that runs maybe 4.5 feet. It's just like something smeared out on the wall, but completely translucent. Not like blood or anything. Just something liquid smeared on the wall.
I point that out to Barnack, and I say I'll probably want to keep an eye out on that there as you approach. Check out what it is. You're going first, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'm literally holding you by your shirt, and you go first, I go second, and the group follows because you have dark vision.
Oh, so I am your eyes. I
Yes.
get it. What do my dwarf eyes see? Well, okay, so I just didn't catch it. So it's only on the wall, right? Not
It's
on
only
the
on the
ground?
wall, as far as you can tell.
Okay. Can I see anything in in the tunnel or wherever it is? Like
You can
I...
also
It's like
make
a
a perception
staircase,
check.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a staircase that leads down and then curves into a spiral staircase further down.
Okay. Okay. I will make a perception check. And is my pass without trace still up? Since I didn't cast any other spells.
I think so. Yeah, it's probably been about 20 minutes since you cast.
Yo,
it.
I'm literally in heavy armor, holding your
You
back.
get
like
yeah, but you get plus 10 then. Okay, so perception first. That is No. 14.
14. You see the same as Jean-Jacques did. One moment, my mic got messed up. But you see the same as Jean-Jacques did, and then the glistening on the wall. Except you spot also that there is a similar stuff, just stuff. You can't really identify it. Similar stuff on the back part of the hatch, so the part that opened, like it swung open away from you, and like on the part that was previously facing down, it also has a little bit of this glistening stuff on it.
Is it, since I listened to the hatch previous time, is it like something left it there while moving? Like, can I see if there are marks, like something being dragged or moved, or like from maybe a lot of legs or something? Or is it just a smear?
Outside of that smear, there's nothing else that you can discern on the wood itself or on the wall.
Okay. Well, when I tried listening to it last time, I think whatever this was listened in on me as well. So maybe when it pushes its head against or its ear, maybe this is earwax. Maybe this is spider earwax.
Barnack.
I'll go first. Yeah, I'll go first.
Either way, just go.
Yeah, I'm going down, and pass without trace is. So I'm going down slowly.
Okay. Would you like to roll stealth as you go down?
I would, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll go third.
Okay. So I've got Barnack, Turnock, then Jean-Jacques, and who's going fourth and fifth?
I'll go fourth.
Okay. So Tani
Can be list.
in the back.
That is 18, 10, 28.
Okay.
Yeesh.
Since
Everyone
you're
gets
holding
plus
on
10.
to him, do you also at least attempt to stealth, Turnock, or do you just kind of
yeah, I
wander
mean-
along?
Since I'm here, right?
Okay. I mean, you're free to ignore it.
So it's plus 10,
Yeah, it's
but I
plus
need
10.
to roll with disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, so 27.
Wow, with disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
Impressive.
Yeah, I
Okay.
critted, and it was a 17 and a 20. No, not a 17, a 15 and a 20.
Impressive. All right.
22 for me.
Okay. Myra and Tani, would you like to roll stealth as well in that case?
16 for me.
Okay.
With a plus 10?
I
Everyone
rolled a 7 minus 1 for my dexterity.
Classic.
Sure.
Look, I was kind of hoping for a natural 1, so I'd have exactly a 10.
That would be impressive to roll a 10 with a plus 10.
Yeah.
I rolled a 15, so that's 25.
All right. So, the Ashen Hearts line up behind Barnack and begin their slow descent into whatever may lie beneath the Red Sash warehouse. As you go down, you begin to feel that there is a sense of something oppressive in the air. The air is heavier and thicker than you would have expected it to be. It also grows colder still, even colder than it was above ground and outside as you descend. But the only sound that you hear is now the slow shuffling and tapping of feet behind and in front of you of the other members of the Ashen Hearts.
As we were going, Kevin, just a second. As we
Yeah.
were going, I give just a small breath of cold air on Barnack's ear, just to mess with him a little bit, just to get closer.
I'll put my pinky in her. Well, this is cold.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Goes here, Barnack. Good job.
Get a quick question. So Turnock is holding like an arm on Barnack's shoulder.
Mhm.
Like this. I'm holding like this.
Right, so he can because I got the dancing lights up now so that you can actually see. But if you're gonna proceed like that, I can turn those off and make our approach a little bit more stealthy, but you're gonna be blind.
Yeah, can you turn those on command again?
Yeah, it's easy enough. Like it's a cantrip, so I can just pop it up and up.
Yeah,
But I think
so
you will be
that'd be
blinded,
better.
right, Kevin? Because
Yes,
total
you'll
darkness.
you'll be considered blinded while
Yeah.
in total darkness.
I can be your eyes, at least for now.
All right.
While we're
I'll
still
turn it off.
Okay.
And I sheathed my sword. I had it on my hands because I was seeing things,
Okay.
but now that I'm not,
Okay, very good. Sending a quick question to Myra on Discord, and in the meantime, I will move you guys over to a different map. No, my shift click won't work. Here we go.
Thank you, the answer back.
You guys should be able to see a little bit. So, you descend the staircase, and actually it doesn't go on for quite as long as maybe you started to expect it would. You know, it started to have all the elements of this is going to a much deeper place than you expected, and then suddenly it came to an end. And you emerged into what seems to be almost like a small storage room, built quite deep underground, maybe smuggler's tunnels of some kind, which look quite old, but well kept. And you see that there are several places around you where crates have been stacked in the past that have been moved away, and you still see an array of crates. All of them, like they're completely sealed, it seems, stacked in the western hallway. So, how do you guys want to proceed? And I should probably say here also, your token dictates what you see, so please move accordingly and carefully, and when you see something new, please wait for me to get to it if you know, we're describing something else at the time.
I'm not going to do anything right now. I'm literally, just
Okay.
dead weight, so you can mute myself.
All right.
Annie, you're closest to that crate. Can you see what's inside? Can you don't open it, but just can you take a peek?
Oh, okay. Glad you told me to take a peek, because I didn't know how to look inside without opening something. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
And then step carefully here.
All right.
Closer.
As you step closer, you notice immediately the crate's been like hammered shut. You see the nails; it is completely shut tight. Do you want to try to pry it open?
I will, and I'll slightly look away because I remember the spores from that druggy thing before. Yeah. So I'll try to pry it open and look away.
Okay. By the way, Turnock, I'm just seeing that I had your token set up slightly incorrectly. Apologies. That should be fixed. You try to pry it open. Go ahead and make an athletics check as you look away.
21.
Okay. You all hear the slow of the crate being torn open, essentially. The nails coming out, and almost the whole crate comes up with it, because you realize, Tani, as you're like pulling on it, that it's actually empty inside. So as you pull open part of the crate, just enough that you can actually look inside, there's nothing in there.
I tell them, there's nothing unless there's something invisibly magic or something magical. I don't know, but I don't see anything. And I
Well,
go step back.
Crate came up as you tried to pull off the lid. I think there was something invisible in there, would still have weight.
I don't understand these things.
I'll approach, and I'll, as quietly as possible, again cast detect magic.
Okay. I think it lasts 10 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I did dancing lights, which would have canceled the concentration.
Are you sure? Is
Yes,
dancing
both
lights
of them are
concentration?
concentration.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
checked
know.
that. Yeah.
That sucks for you.
Yeah. But it's the detect magic is at will, so
True,
I'm
true,
good.
true. So yeah, you cast detect magic again, and again you, your vision sort of changes, and this time you see almost like visualizing sound waves in the air of this necromantic energy floating through in every direction. The crates themselves don't seem to be magical in any way. Let me see if there's anything else you notice. No,
Peeking into the
that's it.
crate, there is no magical object that
No.
seems to be invisible or anything like that.
Nothing like
Is
that.
the bottom of the crate whole?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. And is there any residue or any material that's left in the crates? Or they're completely, or in that crate, or is it completely just clean?
There's some dust, some typical stuff that just accumulates over time, but nothing outright that, stands out as being interesting to you.
Gotcha. Okay. Seems
Okay.
like this one's empty. I don't know if we should get hung up on these.
Yeah, are we proceeding where we started, or are we proceeding through the crates?
Well, dungeoneering rules indicate we should always go left. So I would propose we go forward, because in this scenario that is left.
I'll go forward then.
Remember to, because my vision, there's literally anything. I can even see my token. So just
Yeah,
walk
don't
me behind Barnack, please.
I'll keep you updated with Barnack, don't worry.
I will sneakily go round the corner. Well, get to the corner and peek.
Alright, so Turnock, to you, you suddenly feel that the walls are a bit closer on each side, but that's about it. The rest is just you slowly shuffling along behind with your hand on Barnack's shoulder. Barnack, as you get to the corner, the rest of your party kind of crammed into this narrow hallway behind you. You take a look, and you see that there's a slightly wider corridor up ahead, and you can just see the outline of what seems to be two pillars in a room. Very narrow, but they seem to have a sort of set of inscriptions on them, like glyphs that are glowing a deep, dark kind of purple.
Jean-Jacques, I think I need your eyes here. We can't shuffle. Let me just.
All right,
take
well,
a
just
close-
1 second. All right,
Let me take a closer
Turnock, this
peek.
one. And I'll squeeze myself very intimately
Okay.
across Turnock and Barnack to make my way up to the front.
Okay. Yeah, so there's not really any standing still, so indeed you land in front of Barnack to have a look, and indeed you see two more pillars revealed. And each of the pillars has these sort of markings that seem to run in a sort of pattern around the pillar. So like there's a marking on one side, then on the nearer side, then on the other side again, and presumably on the side that you cannot see. And each of those glyphs seems to be glowing with this sort of slight dark purple glow that, as you look at it longer, seems to be pulsating a little bit. Definitely magical, right? And with your detect magic up, I would say you.
It's out of range, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll allow it, since you're gonna get this information in a moment regardless. It's abjuration magic.
Abjuration. Okay, that's like banish and stuff is abjuration, right?
It's protective,
Yeah.
roughly, right? Like it's
Yeah,
abjuration
yeah,
is
yeah.
quite wide, but
Okay. Well, I'll relay that to the group.
okay.
I say, yeah, the corridor widens a bit here, but I think it's I'd rather keep my detective abilities up for just a little while longer, Turnock, if you're okay with that, before I give us light.
Or just thinking what. Actually, I'm not thinking anything because you haven't shared the abjuration information with us. So never mind.
No, I would have. Yeah. When I said relay, I meant the details. So I would have mentioned that it's the school of magic.
So I just comment on that, but well, we might be dealing with somebody who can handle necromantic and different schools of magic. So, you think we're up for that, Jack? I think it.
Oh, I use several kinds of schools of magic, so it's not entirely uncommon. It really depends
From
on.
what I know, you're a powerful sorcerer.
I am adequately powerful, yes.
Yeah. Now's definitely, and I stopped.
Now is the time for modesty.
Yeah, I was gonna say now's definitely the time to be humble, and but I stopped and said, wait. Do you guys see anything? I can listen
I
to
don't.
something. I can listen to something.
Hold on.
Check the walls. Check the walls around you.
I checked the
See
ceiling.
something.
Okay. The first thing you notice is that the ceiling is actually higher up than you expected. It's about 15 feet up. And you see right above you another streak of this glistening material left on the ceiling.
And it doesn't pop up on my detect magic.
No.
This music is
Yes.
fucking freaky, dude. Fuck off.
There's nothing on the floor.
Jean-Jacques, have you seen something?
I only see some more of that residue that we saw up above.
Hero, watch your
glistening
back.
material.
Just watch your back.
I look behind me immediately.
Maybe we shouldn't stay in this cramped hallway.
Yeah, whatever we need to do. Myra's right. Just move forward. We cannot avoid whatever's in here anymore. Just go.
All right.
Alright,
Just give me a moment. Let me just see if I can understand what this is up above or up ahead.
Okay.
Not move with me, but just let me stay at front.
Okay.
Go, Jean-Jacques.
All right, Jesus fucking Christ. So I'll proceed very carefully investigating or taking care to note if there are any traps or
Okay.
magical, because I have the detect magic up, so I'm hoping that'll work. But
Yeah.
magical and mechanical, that I
Mhm.
don't step on a plate or anything.
Okay. Give me one general investigation roll. And also let me know what your plus is to investigation.
My plus 2 investigation is 6,
Okay.
and I rolled a 12. I mean, total. So 6 plus 6.
Okay. Well, as you go along, there's definitely nothing that pops up out at you as being dangerous or in any way a trap of any kind. And maybe we can attribute the slightly low number to a distraction that you see up ahead. Because as you begin to move, and Barnack follows, Turnock still hand on shoulder, Turnock, you actually see the slight glow of the glyphs. So the only thing that you see up ahead is 4 pillars in a slightly larger room with glowing glyphs on them in this dark purple. But beyond that, those of you with dark vision, beyond the 4 pillars, you see that there should be a corridor, like the walls curve away and go down that direction, but there's just pure darkness that greets you.
And then you see on the ground in front of you orange markings. When you get close to it, invisible wall ahead. Dark Souls time.
I see.
I turned to Jean-Jacques. I'm guessing that he's near me.
Yeah, I think I'm right next to you, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just say, I think whatever's in here knows we're here. We might as well just come out swinging.
You're probably right. Let me just... I'm worried about these glyphs. Just 1 second. Can I try to glean, like, what are the properties of these glyphs? Like, is it a triggered mechanism of some kind that will do something, or is it more of a active enchantment that is providing some other purpose?
Make an Arcana check to deduce their general purpose.
Oh Jesus, these rolls, man. I'll use a sorcery point to re-roll this.
Okay.
25.
Okay. As far as you can tell, they seem to be maintaining some kind of active enchantment at the moment. So they're doing something continuously. That's what the pulsating is about. There's a sort of... It's almost like a program. You know, it has a refresh duration, and it just constantly pulsates in the same... for the same duration. But what they actually do, you don't know, because you cannot read the glyphs outright immediately.
I'm guessing that once again, Jean-Jacques is sharing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, do you think that if we, in any way, disrupt these glyphs, scratch them, cover them, they'll cease to work?
Well, normally, magical enchantments or glyphs that are part of magical enchantments are quite durable. They're made so because of the enchantment, so you wouldn't be able to scratch it with normal means. Now, you do have an exceptionally sharp sword that could potentially do the trick, but I'm not certain. It could also trigger whatever this enchantment is, or a supporting enchantment. I have means of getting rid of the enchantment, but I can only do it once, and if it fails, it failed, and that's it.
But we don't know what the enchantment is.
We do
Hold
not.
on, and I'll take an arrow, break the metal part. So
Okay.
break the tip, and then I'll just throw the wooden part through the air.
In front of you, like at the wall?
Yeah.
How far?
Well, I want to get between those 4 pillars.
Okay. Easy enough. So you break one of your arrows, make sure to mark
Yep.
it down, and
Yeah, I
toss it into the middle.
yeah, I made the metal, like I
Mhm.
still have the metal because of the sound. So it doesn't make any sounds.
Okay. It clatters to the ground.
You threw it at the wall, like we're standing
Just here.
I'm trying to understand.
Just here.
Bro, I can't see anything.
Uh-huh.
He literally can't see anything.
Yeah, right.
Like the map, it's obscure to me. So, is there a wall in front of us?
No,
There's a corridor. What is in front of us?
there's like a small room in front of us with 4 pillars in kinda in the middle of the room. And those 4
there's no
pillars-
way out.
There is a dark way out. Yeah, right. You don't see anything. So, Tarnok, in front of us, there's actual darkness. I don't even see through. On the right, there's another corridor, but I think that one kind of goes back to where we were. That's what I see. And I threw the arrow between 4 pillars. Just
Yeah,
clattered
no.
to the ground.
We could.
Get me the other part. The other part of the arrow.
Here we go.
Point me in the direction of the darkness.
Don't
Not
forget,
even
you can still see the 4 glowing, like the glow on the pillars, right? It's just a slight,
Mhm.
like neon glow almost, but that's it. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah, I just say just point me towards the
Yeah, but
darkness
wait,
that you cannot see
the
through.
metal will be hurt. Do you want another part of just wooden
Grab
arrow?
the one that you threw on the ground.
That one is in the middle of the 4 pillars.
We cannot get in. Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
We don't know.
the thing is, if we go in the middle of the pillars,
The
something
magic activates.
could happen. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's an enchantment that is just
Maybe.
doing something entirely different. Maybe it's sustaining that darkness up ahead. I
Maybe.
don't know at this point.
Is there a path that we can proceed through that does not go through the pillars?
Kind of.
Kinda. Wait, I have another idea. I'll break off another arrow, break the
Okay.
metal part off, and just throw it at one of the pillars.
Okay. It hits one of the pillars and, makes the very characteristic sound of wood hitting stone and clatters to the ground.
Okay? pillars don't hurt. Maybe. Let me
All
just take
four
a
Why
pillars
did you
have-
break? You should have told me at least that you were doing that, because I wanted
have
to
enough arrows.
throw in the darkness, and I wanted to see if I could hear it landing. So the metal part might as well just be better than the wood.
Yeah, go for it. I'll
The wood
point
will
you to
make
the
noise
right
on the
pillar.
stone floor, guys. Like,
Yeah.
wood makes noise too.
Yeah, I mean, just give me anything.
Yeah, you have
Just
the metal
don't make
part.
me throw my hand axe.
No, no,
and
you
I
have the
just-
metal part.
Yeah, and I throw into the darkness, the darkness that not even Barna can see through,
Okay.
to see if I can listen to it hitting the ground.
Okay. As you line up to throw, you hear another scream.
Yeah.
Do you still throw?
No, I was like this, doing the movement, and then I just hold. Jean-Jacques, crank up the lights. Enough of this.
I want to look behind me as I hear the scream, just in
Okay.
case.
I
Go
get
ahead.
ready to do that, but then I turn to Myra and I say, Myra, do you by any chance have any ability to create light?
If I had a torch,
Yeah, I
Look at her
listening to
like,
yeah,
"All
listening
right."
to two of them.
and I cast dancing
thinking
lights.
about- No, before you cast dancing light, I just grab your hand, and I just say, "You magical people don't understand just the basics of anything," and I just grab a torch, normal torch.
Okay.
It just
I said a torch would work.
yeah, but why
Alright.
would he do this? Sorry, Myra,
Shut
that
the
was
fuck up.
against-
And
that
let's
was
go.
against the judge.
If you're not going to step in between the pillars, I am.
Here's the torch.
So,
Okay, and I'm holding it. I'm holding the torch
I
on my left hand.
am going to take. I'm gonna take Jean Jacques for a second. Just be like, can I have that ring back?
okay. Tani,
No,
by the
you gave me
way,
a gift.
Tani, by the
Like-
way, please roll a perception check. Go ahead, Mike.
Please.
He gives you the.
I will hand it over to Tarnak. And as I give it to Tarnak, I will cast a warding bond.
Okay.
And then I will also use emboldening bond between myself, Tarnak, and the Barnak.
Okay.
And as she does that, I'm stepping in. Blam.
Okay. So, Tarnok.
I rolled a 4, and it's 7 total, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
So, as Tani is looking over her shoulder, back the way that you guys came, Tarnok steps forward between the pillars. To no effect, it seems. Steps in between them. You can see all of the glyphs at this point, at least on the two that are nearest to you. They just seem to continue in their pulsing and be doing whatever they're doing without having any obvious effects on any of you.
I have my sword unsheathed again, and I just signal with it, like to people to come behind me, and I'll go just check this corridor right here.
Okay.
Oh, this passage is locked. It is right.
Actually,
This is
no.
indeed-
Sorry. So
Oh,
as
okay.
you come into the next corridor, I was just waiting for Barnack to move as well. As you come into the next corridor and you get a look at what's up ahead, you see that where part of the stonework that forms the floor of the halls that you've been in so far, it actually ends, and it seems to have been scratched away or destroyed, and there's just a much more normal earthen cavern-like floor in its place. But to its left, to the west, there is another opening which is just made of pure darkness, which no torchlight or dark vision can seem to penetrate.
So I'm going to walk forward here, and if nobody stops me, I'm not going to stop. Okay?
Okay.
Just warning the group, and I'm going to check these chambers right here, see what's going on, if this indeed leads to the same place.
You find a
Is
few
the
more
darkness
crates.
itself magical?
The
Sorry, what?
darkness itself is magical, but its school, it doesn't seem to have a school. It's more a spell effect that's just there.
Yeah, and I'm going to check up here also.
Okay. So in essence, you complete the the part of the underground that you're in right now, and you manage to puzzle together where the western corridor with the crates that you were initially in leads to, and that there is another path that leads northward, and that is the only obvious way forward outside of the two seemingly blocked passages to the west.
Let us go forward then. If we find that the only way forward is actually through this darkness, we'll try to find a way to disrupt the spell on the glyphs, okay?
Yeah.
And I proceed.
All right.
Going up.
So Turnok, as you move forward, you see that part of the wall has been broken away, as if they weren't able to build here, or as if something protruded outward. And then you come to another room, which immediately fills your nostrils with a horrible irony scent of something
Okay.
like rotten blood. And you see in that chamber a pool of maybe 15 or 20 centimeters of stagnant blood-like substance on the ground.
So I call Barnack forward.
Okay.
And can you recognize it? Do you know what this is? And I just get it between my hands and do like this, trying to understand the viscosity of it, density, stuff like that. Just trying to understand what it is.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I will say that as you both try to at least size up and discover more about this pool, the first thing that strikes you is that the smell very quickly becomes acidic. Like it hurts sort of to breathe it a little bit, not actively yet, but you get the impression that whatever liquid is in there is definitely acidic and possibly dangerous.
Okay, so did it hurt my hand?
Oh, sorry, did you put your hand in? I missed
No, I
that.
touched it. Like I got like a little bit of it.
I would like you to roll. Let's make that a dex save as well. As you touch it, how quickly you can pull your hand back.
Dex save.
Dex
No, it's
save.
just it was not like not getting pickles from a really big jar, but just the two fingers just to see.
Yeah. So it's just about how quickly you can save your
You
fingers.
do get a +1 to that because of
20.
warding bond.
Okay, so you save.
21.
So you take 7 points of damage, halved to 3.
Yeah, so I just turn to the group. I just like
Is that
smear it off like on my
adding
clothes,
on
on my
his
armor.
resistance?
No, so 3 is before any resistances. So if you need to share that, then it'd be 1.
Yes. Okay. Because of warding
So-
bond, he's resistant to all damage, and I take the same amount.
Yeah. So you both take 1/1.
What about me?
Oh, I think that you
Emboldening
well,
bond
be-
is
since
different.
I took damage from it and you actually saw me, taking damage from it. I'm guessing that you didn't touch it because that was
No,
my
I
first
meant
action, actually.
from Myra's spell because I was also
Oh yeah, you're trying to
bonded.
figure out what it is.
Warding bond is the spell with the rings. Emboldening
Mhm.
bond is my class feature.
So
Oh, okay.
am I able to get around this, like this rock right here, and then to the staircase?
You suspect that you could, but it will definitely take a dexterity check to get through without slipping, because the
Oh.
rocks are not like flat enough to easily hold you.
Wait, Tarnok, wait.
Mhm.
You're quite heavy in that armor. Maybe Tani should do that.
So I step down and backwards actually, and I just point to Tiny like, "Would you mind?"
Be careful,
Okay.
Tani. This thing, don't fall in it.
Yeah.
Don't.
And we shouldn't taste it like we did with that
No.
blood, right?
Not
No, we
this
shouldn't
time,
taste
no.
it. You saw me. I literally just showed my fingers, like slightly burned, like reddish. Don't touch it.
Okay.
How did you all survive tasting blood?
Nobody really knows.
Okay.
All right. So Tani, how do you proceed?
This here is like an untouched stone, right?
Yeah. So the whole chamber seems to be a sort of rocky, un unworked stone sort of layer that just has this pool formed in it, but the parts of rock that stick out are quite jagged and not friendly to walk on easily, so you have to kind of balance your way across them to get to the
Wait.
other part. To the,
I
to
just
the next part ahead.
I turn to him and say, wait. Is this flammable? Because if it is, we may just, you know, burn it out.
Well, setting fire to something in an underground tunnel while still within the underground tunnel is not the wisest choice.
Looks like a pretty good idea to me.
There's nowhere
You go
for the
ahead.
smoke to go, and then we all die.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
We don't die, Myra. Don't you worry about us dying. That's not on our plan list today.
That's
You can
that's
check
all
with
I worry
Darnok.
about.
No, you
Tani's
can check
eyes
with Darnok.
bulge as she remembers that she very nearly died. She technically did die that one time.
go ahead then, Tani.
Darnok,
I can fly across.
Yes, Barney.
do we have dying on our list?
No.
No?
That's definitely.
We're
I
not
don't
dying
even
then
need to
today.
check it.
Exactly.
As I said before, Jean-Jacques going to die of old age. So
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
what is the plan here?
I'll start
Waiting on Tani
advancing
to
as
go.
they're discussing. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll extend my hands like touching the walls and being as flat as I can,
Okay.
and then hopping like as quick as I can and
Okay.
going through. Let's
Go ahead
see
and
if
make
I.
a dexterity check
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and roll better than last week, please.
Okay, that's a
13.
13. Now, do I use one inspiration or not? Do I risk it?
That is your choice.
No, I'll stay there. I'll do
Okay.
it for a more dangerous thing.
So as you begin to skip, you come to the first like sort of rocky outcropping that you can really put a foot on, with a slight hop, and you manage, and you put your foot on the next one, and as you're moving across, all your weight on that second point, and suddenly your ankle just twists a little uncomfortably, and you begin to slide down the side, and your foot lands in the blood pool. Please make another dexterity saving throw this time.
Okay, dexterity. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh,
26.
natural
Great.
20, so that's 26.
Okay. So you take 18 halved, so 9 points of acid damage as you literally physically land inside the pool, but like immediately your instincts kick in and you push yourself out again, and you actually land where you intended to be, which is here. But you do notice that the acid has begun to eat away at part of your boot, and it's just like, it's definitely going to need some repairs once you guys get out of here.
Okay, so as Tani's standing there, I prompt myself to get right here, and I'm studying the possibility of at least the little ones. One hand to me, one feet on the rock, weight on the rock, and then hands to Tani, and then, you know, just giving support to reach there, like almost like a bridge. And then
Okay, so okay, that can work.
I have a plan, and it might sound stupid, but I think it would work. We need Barnack on the other side. That's all we need. Jean-Jacques can fly there.
Well,
okay, so
Annie, what do you see? You're alone there.
no, don't go forward, Tani. Don't go too far. Don't go. Too
No,
far.
just do you see anything? Do we even go across?
I see stairs, and then.
The path continues.
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
So we gotta go.
Okay. So you need me, Myra? You need me there?
Yes.
So
And
I
then you
give
might have to take 2 punches from Tahani, but don't worry, you won't get hurt.
I extend my hands to I know exactly what she's trying to do, and it's awesome. So I'll just extend my hand to Barnack, and if that works, I can do that with you as well, Myra. I extend my hand to Barnack. Do you trust me, man?
Why, thank you.
And I hold it like really hard. I grip on his hand, and then Tani, get ready, and then I just almost not, actually throw Barnack, but I just elevate him to the rocks,
Okay.
and at least to close to Tani's reach, so she can pick him up.
Okay. Well, then I would like an athletics check, and
Yes, sir.
Barnack is dexterous enough that I think you have advantage because he's obviously also helping himself
Yeah.
get to this point.
Yeah, so advantage in athletics.
Yeah.
25.
Okay. Easily enough, actually. In fact, Barnack, you go so far you almost fall forward into Tani's arms immediately. But it doesn't take too much effort for Tani to help Barnack get to the other side as well. Although it squishes the two of you kind of into that narrow corridor, so one of you will probably have to move on.
I look at Myra, seeing that works so well, and I'm just analyzing her complexion in general. Do I believe that I'm able to do that with her?
No, it's
as
fine.
well?
Tahani, punch Barnack, but not like really hard.
Where?
I don't care. Maybe
In the
not
face.
Definitely
No,
in the face. Definitely in the face.
No, you can.
Don't worry,
Punch-
you're not gonna get hit.
Then in the dads. Punch him in the dads.
That's gonna
No.
hit me in like the leg then.
Punch me in my shoulder, then, in my broad
Hit
shoulders.
me like in the side. That's fine. Just punch him.
How hard
Slowly.
though? I don't want to
Probably-
hurt you.
Don't. It's not gonna hurt him. He'll be fine.
Okay.
Tani, I know you were looking for opportunity to do this for a while now. Seize it.
What, Tani? Never.
Not since the Aboleth, no. And that wasn't me, really.
I just
know.
look behind
I
me,
know.
I look forward, I say, Tani, just go. Don't think too much.
I'll lightly tap him on the shoulder, see if that's enough.
Okay, so
Like
you,
tap
you,
him with my closed fist.
you tap him and nothing happens.
Okay, so this has to be
Put some
higher
force into it, Tani.
then. Okay.
I
see
lean
you
over
punch
towards
people.
Myra and I say, should I just shoot him with a firebolt?
No, because that would hurt more.
Okay.
That would
Tani,
hurt
just-
more.
Just
Excuse
don't throw me. Don't
I
push
whisper.
me in the thing. Go. Not looking.
Okay. I'll try not to make it lethal nor like
Yeah,
one
just
of
go.
my savage ones.
Okay.
And I'll do it. Yeah.
Alright, so go ahead and roll the damage dice on your punch. And let us know how much.
Okay. That's a 2,
Uh,
so 10.
When she goes to punch, I'm gonna use bolt or protective bond
Okay.
to use my reaction to teleport 30 feet
Right.
and take the hit.
Yeah, so Tani, you can actually just roll the dice because neither of them are attempting to evade. Right, so it's
Okay.
just an auto hit. So just let us know how much damage you do to Myra as she arrives.
6.
Alright, 6 bludgeoning damage, Myra, as you arrive to block the blow against Turnock. Oh, sorry, against Barnack, and you just immediately get smacked in a place that's uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. You can choose, if it's the stomach or the face or the shoulder that Myra gets punched.
She aimed for the shoulder, wherever shoulder height is on Barnack. I'd get punched.
Oh, that's probably like downward into your stomach then, since you're standing up is about that height. So it's an uncomfortable one, but you do arrive successfully on the other side, leaving only
Now-
Turnock and Jean-Jacques.
Yeah, now we
Yeah.
just need Turnock to do that.
Whoa.
Will that, Turnock, when you sense that Barnack is going to get hit, just
Okay. And
slide
inside
over.
my head,
Hold on,
really
may I-
tempted to just
may
let
I?
it go.
Just a suggestion. It's a very narrow corridor. And if another person comes into my space, I'll feel uncomfortable. So let's get just a few steps up, please.
I need to see the punch coming.
No, you don't need to see it. You just have to be within 30 feet of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
So
just
I need
go
to
up
feel whenever the punch is coming. Okay.
there. So I don't actually fall into the pit. Okay, Tani. I'm
I mean,
ready.
I
That
can
didn't
punch
hurt.
you this time, so you don't think.
Yeah, so
Go, Tani.
Okay, so I do it a little less hesitantly
Okay.
and
yeah.
and go.
And I
Wheel
just
kicks him to the face.
All right, go for
So-
the give us the damage roll as Turnok teleports.
That's a
Yeah.
10.
But Turnok only takes 10 or 5, and I take 5 because of 14
Oh
bond.
yeah. So each of you takes 5 points of damage as Turnok teleports into place, and Tani, without hesitation, punches Turnok, probably also in the stomach again, if it was again in for the shoulder. Yeah, that happened. So that was definitely a way to get across,
Okay.
leaving only Jean-Jacques on the
Yeah,
other
I
side.
leave. No, I'm kidding. I didn't want to interrupt, but I was keeping a close watch on our backs,
Mhm.
specifically looking at the ceiling. So I just want to see if there's anything
Okay.
in here with us.
Make a perception check.
as you do that, let me just quickly go to the bed.
5.
Okay. Jean-Jacques, you stand there. You know, you kind of listen in on what the group is doing, making sure that they're not, getting into any specific trouble. And looking around, you don't see anything. But on the edge of your perception, you do hear something skittering. And then it's gone.
Oh boy. All right. Get this over with. I'll go approach the pool and then just very casually, like hands in pocket, because I think is this. Let me just see. Verbal. Oh, it has somatics. So one hand in pocket. I'll motion with my fingers and utter a command word, and I'll cast detect magic again, which will allow me to move 10 feet. Flying and then just land like with a gust of wind behind me, just whoop,
Okay.
gently touchdown.
So Jean-Jacques takes the most elegant route of all, and simply launches himself across and lands safely on the other side without needing to be punched or otherwise. But
To the great sadness of everybody else.
But you've all made it to the other side of the blood pool. And as you guys are looking around, you see to the east a blocked stone doorway with some pieces of metal, like it's been sort of bolted shut almost. The metal is made put across just to completely keep it shut, and there's a very, very heavy lock on the right side. In the chamber beyond, to the north, you see indeed a spiderweb cocoon that is hanging in the corner with some spilt fresh blood underneath it, and the cocoon still moves slightly. And to the west you see an additional corridor with more spider webbing, and in the room that you're in, by the way, there's also like part of the ceiling is just covered in spider web.
I just
Not
say,
again.
no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just said not again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, let me just follow Jean-Jacques' advice for once. Let's take the left route.
Wait, but the right one is it completely bolted? Can we open it?
You could potentially attempt to open it, but it would probably take some effort and time.
Varnak, let's try to make some
Yeah.
progress and actually move.
Yeah, I don't like
Not
that.
a good
north,
idea to.
I don't like that north part though.
Just before we proceed, we are aware that there is a cocoon with a person inside that's struggling to get out.
Probably help them.
Okay,
God,
so
Just
I
saying.
step forward. I step
You
forward.
think it could be Argyle?
No, definitely not. And I go.
Okay.
Okay, bam.
So you begin
And,
to approach. And yeah, it is very feeble. It's not like someone who's actively like struggling because they just got put in. Like it's just the slightest kicks, and there's a. Now that you're closer, you can still see that someone inside is still breathing slightly, but it's all very, very weak. And
Well,
from
as
the,
I see that.
sorry,
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm just that as I see that whatever's in there is still alive. I grab my rapier, and I try to cut through the spider cocoon.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check as you do so. Oh, sorry. Well, your strength saving throw is the same bonus as athletics, right? Plus 8 both?
No, because I don't have proficiency.
Oh, okay. That's fine. We'll use athletics for now then. As you go to cut, you notice that your sword, even the magical sword, is becoming stuck in the webbing, but it is sharp enough that with the swift movement that you do, it doesn't actually completely get entangled. So you cut through it, but you do end up having to rip off some of the cocoon. As you cut it open, you spot inside a halfling, completely pale, very much, having been drained of blood so far, with all of this sticky mucus, which very much resembles the stuff that you guys found on the wall previously, on his skin. And he just kind of flops out onto the ground. Not hard or anything, but definitely unconscious at this point and breathing shallowly. You also notice that he is wearing a red sash.
Mm-hmm. I'll pour a healing potion into his mouth. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the 2d4 plus 2. I'm guessing it's a common healing potion.
Yeah. I only have one of those. Better use that than another spell slot from mine. So.
All right.
3.
3. Okay. So
5.
Plus 2, 5.
Oh yeah.
Plus what? Yeah. Okay.
Plus 2. It's 2d4 plus 2. So as you cut it open and you pour a healing potion into the throat of this unconscious red-sashed halfling, he comes to after a moment. You see that there is some color that returns to his skin, but he's definitely still, he's been bled pretty badly. And he just kind of... where am I?
I'm just like I have his head on my arm, like just lying on my arm. Good question. Where are you? This is the undergrounds of the warehouse of the Scarlet Rose. How nice is that, huh?
Oh shit! Wow, I don't know you guys. What are you guys doing here? Who are you?
Ashen Hearts. Nice to meet you.
You just hear an audible groan from him as you say Ashen Hearts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not necessarily who you were expecting, huh? But that's what we do. No matter who, we do actually help. So get that sad face off, and tell me what's going under here. What is this?
Well, my name's Edeah.
Didn't ask that.
It just looks up like really, really offended. As much as someone who nearly died can be offended. He says, I was grabbed alongside Argyle and brought down here, it seems.
So you ended up in a cocoon, almost dying and feeding whatever beast, and Argyle is nowhere to be found. Did him put you into this situation?
No. The bosses weren't happy that he wasn't gonna do the job anymore. So they grabbed him. We tried to defend ourselves, but this fucking Sundrop, we can't compete without it. Well, I can't. And they had too many for Argyle to take. And after that, it's all dark. But we've been warned about this place. There's something down here It's worse than spiders. I can't remember. But
Something or some things?
some things.
And are they made of trash? Oh, I said that out loud.
He looks up like, huh? No. They're just creatures brought up from the deep.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Whatever is your name, because I don't even remember. That's how much I care about you.
Era.
You win this for not going to remember that. You win this for the money, or you win this for the cause?
What cause? We look after ourselves, and there's nothing better to do to get around.
And what do you mean that Argo wasn't going to do the job anymore? What do you mean?
What do you mean? He told me everything that happened. with
What do you mean?
What do you mean? And
Who am I?
he just kind of like, the pause hangs for a second, and then he goes, he told me that you made him swear not to come after you anymore. So he said he wouldn't, and we were talking about that in a tavern when they came and grabbed him.
He doesn't look exactly like a man of his word, does he? Oh, and then like it snapped. Like, that note. That wasn't. How well do you know Argyle? You, sir.
Is he going to burn the tavern?
Wait,
Stormcrow.
wait, honey.
Oh,
How well do you know
sorry.
him?
I don't know anything about a tavern, but we've been friends, I don't know, for a year, a little more, working
Would you
together.
would you be able to recognize his handwriting?
Maybe. I mean,
The note, Barnack.
Do you, sir, know how to read or write?
a little bit. I could write my name, and I can read basic messages.
The note, Barnack. Do you have it? Allegedly, note written by Argyle.
Actually, it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't.
By the lady.
Oh, so
Kevin.
who's saying that? Is Kevin or?
That's just me.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because.
So it wasn't.
Yeah.
No, so my plan just.
No, but it's still in your handout, so you can check it out again if you like.
Mhm. I just turn to him and I say, "Were you in the plan to burn down the Stormcrow Tavern, or haven't you ever heard of it?"
Like I just said to your friend, I don't know anything about any tavern except the one that I was grabbed in. We were having a drink.
Tavern were you grabbed in?
The pirate down by the docks.
Pirate down by the
We haven't been to that one yet.
No, not
yet. Do they have good ale there?
What do you?
Mister, that I do not recall the name. You've been promoted.
Era.
You have been promoted to honorary Ashenheart. What an honor. I get him to his feet. I stand up. I get him to his feet. And I say, would you like us to leave you here? Or would you like to go in front of us and actually be able to take out whatever's down this path?
He stands very unsteadily on his feet. No weapons on him, just the red sash. And
Yeah, I'm
his
helping him
armor.
to actually get up.
And he just stands there and he looks at you. Listen, I really appreciate you getting me out of that thing, but I don't have it in me to go fight anything. Can you just point me in the direction of the way out of here? And I'll just, and he just takes off the red sash. I'm not that loyal, you know?
Okay.
I just want to get by.
Yeah, so as he's saying that, I just turn my attention to the rest of them. All in favor? Just letting this guy go?
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably die to the acid pit anyway.
Yeah. So I just, I grab him by the shoulder, just, conduct him. I just briefly, just push Tani aside from the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
I say, yeah, down there. And I just signal to Actually, the torch is on my hands. Fuck.
Yeah.
I hand him the torch.
Okay, he takes it very unsteadily, like.
Yeah. And I say, down this hole, this stair, next stair, acid pool, no way to miss it. Don't touch the acid by any circumstances. And then you just turn left, and then you turn left again. You go straight forward, and you see the stairway out. So that's it.
Always
Nice to
left.
meet you, Miss. Yeah, nice to meet you, Mr. No Name.
If
Have a-
something
have a nice
happens to you, scream very loudly.
I heard screaming before.
Yeah, scream yourself as well. That's going to be really good, helpful to you as well.
Try to scream
just
in a
that.
different way, not just so
Yeah,
we know that
scream.
it's you, not the other screamers.
He just looks around at everyone, giving him different pieces of advice that are all equally horrifying, and he just turns to the one person that I think so far he's not heard say anything yet, so he turns to Myra, and he just goes, "Are these people for real?" Any response, Myra, or do you just stare him down?
I just kind of shrug. Go. The acid they're talking about looks like blood. In case you were confused.
Buddy,
Alright, well,
there's only one way here, and to you in your condition, the most likely outcome for you is to die. So I wouldn't think that much, and I would head to the exit as fast as possible.
okay.
And you may encounter some police force up there. So if you do surrender yourself,
Yeah,
kindly.
no problem.
Oh, right. Another thing. If you do hear skittling, run
Yeah.
away from us. So, like, just get out of here quickly. Yes.
Okay, well, and he kind of he takes one step forward, and then he turns around, and he just looks at all of you. There is some genuine thankfulness, despite the weirdness going on. And he just says, "Listen, thank you anyway for saving my life. I've never been down here, but the advice we always got was if you got stuck down here, moving stuff, and something came at you, avoid whatever comes out of their mouth. That was what we were told."
Thank you for the advice.
Oh, so it's not earwax, Barnack. It's vomit.
I'm just gonna leave now.
Yeah.
I actually
You
was
know,
going to try
As
it.
he's going down the stairs, I'm just I'm following behind him, and
Okay.
I just I know this is really awkward, but we also need to go that way. I'm sorry.
It's like you said goodbye, and then you end up walking in the same
Yeah,
direction.
yeah.
Is there anything in the web thing in this other room that looks like maybe the web covered it up or something?
No, the only thing that you see here are a couple of hatched open eggs. They look quite old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Couple questions, Kevin.
Yes.
Quick glance at the door. How complex does this lock look like? Like, is it just a sturdy, big ass lock, or does it actually seem to be intricate?
Mechanically, it seems quite complex. So it's a sort of metal plate along the right side that has multiple mechanisms linked together that need to be opened up. It's like someone definitely didn't want this one to be opened for
Okay.
whatever reason.
And then, secondly, because he said nothing about spiders, does the presence of webs and the general cocooning of its victims combined with vomiting of some kind of that type of attack, does it ring any bells as to what we might be potentially facing here?
You can make a nature check, but I will say
Not proficient.
it's a high DC.
Yeah, I'm not proficient, so
Okay. So that's up to you.
never mind.
Okay.
So, one.
Yeah,
Double
no,
four.
it kind of your brain just gets stuck on the phase spiders that you guys encountered previously.
yeah.
And nothing else comes to mind that you've encountered or heard of before.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right.
I just, as an aside to turn up, just say I think we on our way back should stop by this room and let me try and open it, because I think that might be the vault.
And I have good suspicions that this next path is not going to lead anywhere, and we need to go back to
Probably.
this time anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm moving forward.
Okay. So you guys finally split off from Ira, who you hear just behind you as you guys split paths and he comes to the blood pool. You just hear a quiet, but it kind of echoes, "Oh, fuck me." And that's it. Like, then it's just quiet as you hear him, start to try to get across. As you guys move on, you begin to see and move through corridors that are increasingly covered in these spidery webs. And in fact, Turnok, as you get to the corridor where you are now, it is not just hanging overhead where you can duck under it anymore. It is the entire corridor. It's almost like it's been spun into a spider's web, like completely.
I'm gonna swing at it like a machete in the jungle, just cutting through.
Okay. I will say...
And I lit up another torch, by the way.
I assumed as much, but I will say that in the meantime, you can cut through and sort of move and get your feet off the ground, but it does have your speed while you're in this terrain. So it's manageable. It's not getting you stuck outright, but it's definitely not a place where you want to be for long, because you will get stuck, and it's not easy to move through.
Okay, I just say to the guys, just stay at least 5 feet behind, just so you don't get caught in a wild swing or something. This is going to be a tough one. And I proceed slowly, cutting through.
Okay.
Taking my time.
Yeah, so you proceed, and nothing jumps out at you, nothing frightens you, or worries you in any way. So you get to the next chamber, where you see that there are 2 possible ways to go, which is left and right. To the left, you get a view of what seems to be a larger and much more earthly chamber, compared to the right, where the corridor simply continues and ends in what seems to be a sort of chamber that is also unworked, but much smaller and much more managed. Whereas to the left, you really have a larger cavern opening up.
Yeah, I turn to Jean-Jacques, and I just say, despite your theory, I'm guessing that staying within built bounds for now would be best. If we don't find anything to the right, we'll just go back to that other part. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's just for the purposes of remembering one's way, so...
Yep. So I'm coming this path right here.
Okay.
Slowly, steady.
Alright, stop. Stop right there.
Yeah.
If you could please, and let me check real quick. This is there. If you could please make a dexterity saving throw as you step in front of the corridor that leads southward.
13.
13. Okay. As you step, you notice a pressure plate suddenly giving way. And these small openings open in the floor, and gouts of fire push out of it. You take 12 and 16 points of fire damage, halved because half of it, or rather halved because you share it with Myra. So you each take 8 points of fire damage.
I jump down. It springs from beneath me, right?
Yeah.
So as it does that, I kind of leap to the side, to the room south.
Yeah. So you guys watch as just gouts of flame suddenly engulf Turnok, and he jumps out of the way. There's a gasp of pain, perhaps also from behind, from Myra. But yeah, you both take 8 fire damage, Myra, just FYI.
Yeah.
And
I heard it. I'm gonna take off my platinum ring to end the spell.
okay.
Because I'm below half. I would also like to remind the Tarnak and Barnak that it's any damage that someone takes, you can jump in front of essentially and take it in case it needs to be done.
Yeah.
As long as you're in 30
So
feet.
I can also jump in front of him.
Yes.
Right.
In front of Myra as well.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, I shout to the guys behind me, just don't come yet.
Okay.
And since I'm in here, I'm just going to, first of all, I'm going to investigate for other traps in this room,
Okay.
and if not, I'm going to open what looks to be chests, right?
Yeah, chests of various kinds. So go ahead and roll an investigation check to check these, the room in general for traps, and then you can check individual chests as well if you like.
13 as well.
Okay. In the room itself, nothing jumps out at you as being particularly dangerous or trapped outright.
And I'm going. Mhm.
So yeah, you can check out individual chests if you like.
Yeah, I'd like to each one of them actually.
Okay.
Do I roll 3 or?
Well, let's
Like-
let's take the first two. So go ahead and roll an investigation check for the first one if you're checking it for traps again.
Yeah, I'm going like this order here if I'm going to check.
Okay.
1, 2, and then 3.
Okay. Go for it.
23.
23. Seems untrapped. In fact, it doesn't even seem locked. Checking the contents of this first chest, as far as you can tell, it seems to be filled with various... like, there's actually a barrel of water, which, as far as you can tell, like, put inside of it, which seems to be fresh water. There are also various water skins and other, what seems to be camping supplies, or exploration supplies, like not camping out in a field, but really camping anywhere you need to, be away from civilization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I just checked the bottom one then.
Yeah, that is correct. So go ahead and roll for the next one if you like.
9.
9. As far as you can tell, still, this one also seems untrapped. Do you choose to open it?
Yes.
All right. This one opens just as easily and seems to be filled with all sorts of rope and pittons and other climbing gear.
Mm-hmm. I grabbed those. Like I put the ropes like around my my shoulder. Like
there's like maybe 5 coils of rope. It's a good like 500 feet of rope just stuffed into here, and then there's like a small compartment for more of the practical tools. Well, 500 feet might be a bit much, but there's definitely a huge amount. So you can take 1 coil of rope.
So let's just say that what I'll do is just that I'll lay it on the ground. I'll empty the chest.
Okay.
Ignoring the wild screams around.
All right.
Is it possible to kind of discern the direction?
I was about to say, actually. Tani and Myra hear the screams most clearly coming from behind them somewhere. The exact direction, like whether it comes from the southern hallway or from the cavern, that's too specific, but you can definitely tell it's coming from behind the way that you guys came.
And I'll head to the last chest.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the investigation if you are still doing so.
15.
15. Also seems safe to open. And in this one, you open it and you find a very, very nice amount of food supplies. Just all sorts of dried meats and other, foods that I'm not aware of, but that stay good for longer, for longer treks and travels.
Yeah, as I check those and I see, there's a trap between these two, and I look at the contents of the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's creepy.
So since that's a fine, I'll make my way back and I'll try and listen in more into the direction.
Yeah.
So continue.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll check the crates behind me. I'll turn my attention to the crates as the chests don't seem to bring any results or anything substantial.
As you start to check the crates, I'll not make you roll for this as well. They don't seem to be trapped, and they also appear to be empty. But from what you can tell, they appear to have held similar supplies to what the other crates have held. But these have been emptied relatively recently.
Okay. So I just head back. I stand here, and then avoid stepping on this specific tile.
Well, you could attempt to make an intelligence check to determine if you can block the mechanism somehow.
Okay. Yeah, if that's possible. Thank you, DM. So intelligence, straight intelligence check.
Yeah.
Kevin, well, he's rolling.
23.
Okay, 23. Myra?
How long have we been down here for since like the pillars?
It has probably, I think overall this would be about 25 minutes so far.
Okay, so emboldening bond's done.
Okay. I thought it lasted an hour.
I believe it's 10 minutes.
Ah, okay.
But that's 23.
23. Actually not too difficult. Now that you've identified the mechanism and the pressure plate, which is very well made, but also now that it has been triggered, you actually notice that there is a mechanism that leads up into the wall next to you and disappears. Like it's a very thin line of some metal rod that kind of connects to the plate, and you notice that you can that there's actually a sort of illusory stone in the wall, which you can reach beyond, and there's just a lever, and when you turn it, suddenly the pressure plate just disappears into the ground, and it is replaced by a normal mechanism or
Yeah.
normal plate.
So, before stepping again, I just, put my feet, my
Sure.
my left foot, my left foot, just touching, feeling it, and seeing there's no pressure, I just come back and I say, yeah, nothing but supplies in general. Ropes, food, camping supplies, something to, we could stay a while down here just with the things that I found in there, but I don't think that we need it for now. And I'll just step forward and I'll look down into the abyss.
Okay. So Turnok moves on to look down. What is the rest of you guys doing, by the way? So Jean-Jacques, you went back to have a better look and feel for where those screams might have been coming from.
Yeah.
But by the time that you actually started to listen in more, they started to fade, and not fade as in becoming more distant, but rather they cut off quite suddenly as you were trying to determine the source of the sound. Like maybe whoever was screaming was no longer able to. And yeah, so Jean-Jacques, Tani, Myra, Barnack, what do you guys want to be doing here in the meantime, of course?
In that case, I'll just follow along.
All right. To the abyss.
I'll go closer to the room,
Okay.
the bigger room, just to peek in to see, because if we were hearing those screams from there, I'd like to see and peek.
Okay.
I see him doing that, and I want to be beside him.
All right.
Try to sneak too.
So Tani and Barnack move up there.
I'm gonna stay in the middle in case either group needs help.
Okay. I will say, Barnack, this is getting very close to the end of your pass without trace spell.
Yeah. It
Just
is.
FYI.
It is.
Okay. So
Let me check if
Myra
I can recast it.
kind of hangs out in the middle. Jean-Jacques goes to have a look alongside Turnok. Both of you roll a perception check.
I cast pass without trace again
Okay.
when we're all together.
Okay.
So yeah.
18.
18. And Turnok?
18.
Okay. So both of you, looking down into this crevice, this hole in the ground, you become aware of the fact that you cannot see the bottom. But looking around and kind of, perceiving, investigating a little bit as well, you see that there are multiple locations where people have used pitons before to seemingly descend into this hole. So there's actually one still kind of pushed into the rock, and others that are other places where they have been pushed into the rock previously. So it seems that someone used gear like what Turnok found to descend into the hole in the ground.
Yeah, in order to avoid vertigo, Turnok's kind of laid down, with just the head poking.
Okay.
And I just
I
turn
look
to
at
him.
him being like, what are you doing?
Don't even reply. I just I turn to him and I say,
I chuckle.
that's the way we're going if the other path doesn't seem fruitful, but there's a big chance that we may need to go down. There's enough equipment for us to do that in the other room. So Yep. Let's just gather with the others, try the other path, and if that comes to nothing, we just go down here. Okay.
Mm,
I don't think we should go down before we check the rest of the cavern, but and
That's
I mean
exactly
the
what I
magical
said,
darkness.
Jean-Jacques.
It's not.
Exactly.
You said the other way. You didn't mention the pillars and the magical
I
darkness.
pushed him out of the way and I head towards the others, like as he's speaking to
Oh boy.
me.
I look at him incredulously and I say, "That is the last time you put your hands on me."
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I follow.
Okay. Barnak and Tani, please make perception checks as you are peering into the cavern.
Oh wow, a natural one. That would be a 4.
Oh, dang.
a natural 1. I have 6 with another natural 1.
You guys are terrible at rolling. Okay, so yeah, the both of you stare into the cavern beyond, and what you see is more of this unworked stone ground, but then there's a sort of central rocky outcropping that rises about 15 feet up, and it almost forms like a central platform in the cavern as far as you can tell. But the cavern is also entirely like filled with all of these spider webs that cut across. Like, it would be hard to just walk through this chamber because the spider webs would have to be dodged and ducked under constantly. Barnak, I will say, even with that roll, just naturally you can notice that up here is a group of small eggs that are still alive and that seem to be slightly pulsating with life. You know, they have this slight twitch of life
Yeah,
in them.
eggs, like actual eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Jean-Jacques. Question. When we saw those spider things, you said fire destroyed them, right? Their
Yeah.
webs or whatever. Okay, I see eggs.
Yeah, we burned those too, didn't we?
Yeah. Can you do it again?
I literally hand the torch over to Barnak and one to Jean-Jacques. Like,
I
you
don't
need
think
to
I can.
cast any spells.
I don't think I can reach it.
It's free, so it doesn't cost me anything.
Do the eggs
You-
look the same as the other spiders? The
They do
transparent
not.
ones?
They seem to be of a different type of creature.
Wait a second.
Could you
will
light
say,
one
though,
of your
Mr.
arrows on fire?
Well, before we start sending fire to things, Mr. Ranger, I do believe that when you start murdering the young
Wait,
of a
wait.
particular creature,
Did you hear that? Someone's crying. Can we discern the voice?
I think someone's laughing.
No, that was a cry.
It doesn't matter what it is, just
Did you
Definitely
hear it?
echoes through the cavern from someplace south of it.
yeah. 2 options, guys. Down the hole.
Wait.
in
Do
the
you
other-
discern the voice? Is this Argyle?
From
What
from
are
just
you in a
crying
rush, though?
or laughing, you wouldn't be able to tell because you don't know him well enough.
yeah, I do turn towards Sternok and I just say, like, why are you in such a rush, Sternok? Like, what is going on with you?
Don't we need to go? I turn back. Don't we need
Why
to
would
go?
we need to rush? There's a reason why you stop and you think about things before you rush in. Why would we just blindly go in one direction or another?
And Turnok has the common Turnok attitude. Two steps down, 2 steps back, arms crossed. No reply. I lean against the wall and just wait.
Good talk.
Wait,
And I just Barnek.
wait. Before we burn the eggs, try burning the web next to you. That's not
I
connected.
can do that,
properly.
but before we burn the eggs, what happens when you kill a cub in the woods of a bear?
The mother comes, of course.
Exactly.
Well,
So are
that's
we trying to do that? Is that the goal?
are we not?
I'm
We're
just
trying
asking.
to wait. We're trying to find Argyle here. Wait, are we? Why are we down here? Why are
It's a
we
good
down here?
question. It's a good
That's
question.
why
All
I
right.
avoid conversation. in the first place?
We can find Argyle if we need. Well, the other, I don't know his name. I also forgot his name. Tarnok. Now your attitude's rubbing off on me.
Ira?
So
Era.
it's Ira, of course it's Ira. So Ira said that they took him and Argyle down here. So whoever we're hearing might be Argyle. And are we trying to save him? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll save everyone, but are you guys trying to save him?
I just want to find out what the fuck is down here and why they're going to such lengths to set this whole thing up.
Yeah.
So-
Okay,
Whatever's down here gets out, that could be worse.
Mhm.
okay, good point, Myra, and good point. So
Shall I?
basically, we do need to kill whatever's here. Okay.
All right. Flames on hands, and I'll just step into the room.
Okay. So you step into the chamber. How
And
far?
I'll start just right there.
Okay.
And I start firebolting the fuck out of every egg that I see.
Okay.
Just
Okay. Interesting. Go ahead and make some attack rolls. Let's say you spot 2 more groupings of eggs to the south. Just barely, but like on the edge of where this sort of rocky underground drops away even further. And you can fire at each of them. So let's get 3 attack rolls.
attack rolls. Okay. First 2 are 14 and 29 plus another 26.
All right. So each hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's 2d10, I believe. So first attack is an 11. Second is a 9. Third is a 10.
Okay. Each of the spider eggs each of the groupings of spider eggs is impacted, and there's this brief, like, a flame, but then it immediately dies down. And you've made some damage. You've caused some damage, but not enough to actually destroy all of them.
And where I'm from, I don't see anything else in the room.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. I turn towards this. I can continue blasting them, but I think at some point we're gonna have to traverse this room anyway.
Can you burn the webs?
Can. But as Turnock pointed out, we do have a torch. I can start it,
Yeah,
and then
I
it's
can
probably more
help.
efficient to continue. Alright. I'll start clearing a path towards the south of the room
Okay.
with firebolts as well.
You begin to notice the firebolt spell itself is not particularly effective at actually clearing out this stuff, right? Because it's the nature of the spell is that it doesn't necessarily create fire. You know, it's not like burning hands. It's a very directed impact, so you end up severing some of the ties between these webbings, but it's very tedious work. And actually, if you want to clear a path, I think you said southward?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to clear a path southward, this method will probably take you like half an hour.
No, just
through.
get it started off so that Barnick doesn't have to step into webbing.
Okay.
And then he'll continue with the torch.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
No. I'll actually take 2 torches in both hands.
Okay. So 2 torches lit up.
So
Wait, 2 torches
both
in
hands,
yeah,
so 4
a
torches.
torch in each. Yeah, a torch in each hand. Yeah.
Okay, so 1 torch in each hand. But from just to clarify, right? From the effort that you see Jean-Jacques has to put in, the torches, you know, they burn, but they're not like fiercely burning because they have to last. They're made to last. So holding them close to some of the spider webbing, like it starts to burn. You start to get through it, and it has this really horrible smell to it. But even that, like it's almost like if you get it too close, it starts to try to drown out the fire, as if it has a sort of self-protective mechanism within it to prevent this from happening too efficiently. So it goes faster than the firebolts, but it will still take you some time to get through the webbing efficiently enough to actually make a path. So you said you were cleaning southward, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say as you get to about let's say that you managed to clear the webbing to a degree like so. Right? So you have a path southward here, and you managed to clear it to about here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's the way you want it to go? Okay. As you get there, where is the rest of the party while Barnek is working on this?
Behind everybody. Arms still crossed. Like
Okay.
full attitude.
Okay. And where is the everybody in this setup?
I'm like 10 feet behind Barnek.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm huddling close to them. Don't want to be alone.
Okay. As you begin to approach further, you hear more screaming, but more than that, you see appearing from the south, standing at what seems to be another part of these corridors, actually built up properly, is a person with very dark skin, seemingly fully elven, drow, similar to the one that you had met at the brothel, but definitely a different person. And then, as she appears, a staff in her hand, beautiful robes, everything falls silent. And she looks over at the path that you've been making. And she's silent for a moment. Does anyone say anything to her before she begins to speak?
No, I guess this is one of those awkward moments where you find yourself in somebody's house and you weren't supposed to be there and they're home.
Okay. So as the whole party, takes notice of her, and she's not hiding herself, but also simultaneously, no matter how stealthy you were trying to be, burning a path through webbing is not a stealthy endeavor to begin with. Her voice carries across to you. It is smooth silk of an aristocrat, for sure. There is something noble-born about her, but not of Postizia, as far as you can tell. And she says, well, well, well. I didn't think you'd walk in so easily, but there you are. Ashen Hearts. I expected you to be older. Well, never mind. You've been a thorn in the Rose's side, and unfortunately we can no longer tolerate it. But, fortunately for you, the Master has an offer for you to make to you. Refuse it, and you will not leave this place alive. But the choice is nonetheless yours. And as she speaks these words as her opener, you hear skittering again. But this time you become aware of what skitters. And dropping into the opening that leads to your escape is one very large and very unpleasant looking creature. Spider, dragon, a mixture thereof. Let me quickly... Oh, no.
You said spider and dragon?
Dragon. It seems to be scaled to a degree, but it has all the legs of a spider. And it is... let me see if I can...
Does
There
it
we
have
go.
10 legs?
No, it appears to
Yeah,
have
there's
8
eight.
legs.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I
Wow.
was just about to ask and comment to Barnek. You can't even count legs.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, that they're on standby, right? They're not.
They are
attacking,
currently
they're
on
just-
standby, yes.
They're there.
So they drop in, one to bar your way, and the other one just watching from on high. It's actually not sitting on the rock, but it's sitting in part of the webbing, having skittered down to make itself known. And you immediately, you make the connection that these are being controlled by the woman that is now speaking to you.
Do I know what creatures these are? Am I able to recognize them?
Any of you that think you might know, you can make a nature check if you like.
Yeah, I'm a good one. 17.
Okay. Anyone else checking? Just asking.
I kind of already failed on the check previously, so
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna kind of be like, eh.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
All right. So, Turnock, as you try to take these creatures in and understand maybe what they are, it is not something that you are naturally acquainted with, despite the sort of draconic heritage that you might share to some degree. You've heard, probably mostly, they were used as sort of boogeyman in your culture, and especially from your family, as the sort of, if you don't go to bed now, then the spider drake will get you. So you have a name, but you never expected to actually encounter one in real life. Nevertheless, they are there, very large and very aggressive looking, with their red bodies and like dragon-like wings, but they definitely look like dragonkin, but nevertheless have also very, very characteristic spider traits.
As I take it in, like
Mhm.
I just I step forward, and I cannot actually see her. And is that on purpose? We cannot see. We can only listen to her.
She is down here at the bottom. I don't know if you checked.
Oh, that does not.
Oh, it doesn't reach, right?
That's
Yeah.
not in
So
our view,
she is just to you. She's just a shade on the edge of your vision, just barely visible. But you can't like make out much of her features except for her voice. But nevertheless, as you have time to kind of take in the situation, the spider drakes towering over the group, and her standing there as this, to some clear vision of a drow, powerful and regal, to others just, a shadow of a person standing there. She breathes in again, and she says, "Well, will you hear my master's offer? Or shall I put you down now?"
I just want to know what changed, because in normal circumstances, you guys would just put us down. That's the approach that you've been going with so far.
Well, that is the approach that some of us have gone with, and in fact, she pauses for effect and turns, and for a moment, especially to you, Turnock, there's nothing that happens until, sort of staggering into view, is a half-elf, but not the one that you remember. It's Argyle. His facial features are the same, but his skin is entirely pale white, and he looks like he has had something like engraved on his skin. And as he comes forward, he stands beside her in new armor, and looking extremely loyal and like a soldier, at attention beside her.
Hey, that's the picture I used for Jean-Jacques one shot. Not Jean-Jacques, Nicholas. I'm sorry.
There you go.
That's the same.
But yeah, he. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong key combination to show you guys the picture. But 1 second.
As I see we are in talking terms, I start to walking forward a little bit. I start getting closer. I feel like I'm just,
Okay.
this is too loud for the ambiance and stuff like that. I just start walking a bit closer.
Okay.
And I sheath my sword, and no weapons
Okay.
in hand. So I just walk forward a little bit, just
Okay. As you
trying
come
to have a view
closer,
of the people we're negotiating.
and those of you who already had dark vision could see this already, but as you come closer, Turnock, you see dried tears, very fresh, on Argyle's cheek, and you can see that he has just been through hell. Despite his quiet acquiescence to the situation, he looks like very much like a torture victim, barely on his feet. As he walks past her and sort of takes a defensive position between her and you, she just briefly puts a hand on his shoulder and actually like reaches forward to gently caress his cheek. And she says, "That was perhaps a mistaken judgment, and the Master has seen fit to extend to you a new offering, especially in light of recent events. See, there are many powers in this world, and many that are vying for control right now. And it is understood that you, your group, Ashen Hearts, and she says it almost with reverence, that the Ashen Hearts are not controlled by anyone, that you go your own way, no matter what, and that perhaps we have acted rashly in the pursuit of the items that you carry. We would rectify this, and instead seek, if we may, a partnership of sorts.
What are the terms of the deal? And I say that as I, check again the two spider drakes and
She smiles, and she says, "Well, it is not for me to make any offerings, but I have the power to let you speak with the Master himself. You need only come forward and submit. But understand, your refusal means death."
I'll go if the refusal means we stand a chance of at least combat. If there's and if it is against those things, okay. But I'm not going forward with the certainty that I'm going to die. I just wish to die like a warrior if needed.
Your refusal means death at the hands of our good friend, the Blackheart, and my pets. So, will you submit? And she addresses the whole group.
Yeah, and I look back and I take the same position. Like, I open way for them to see and talk to them. I lean against the wall and I just turn to them as I do that. We don't have any other options. It's either talk and die or just die. So.
I want to know what he has to say. I'm curious.
Oh, curious? I'm certain that I am.
Jacques.
What, Barnack?
Do you think Argyle would help us in a fight?
No. And I put a hand on Barnack's shoulder, just hold it there. And I ask her, and before we give you an answer, might I ask who you are? It is strange to accept an deal or any form of parlay from a person whom I do not know.
If we become associates, you will know me as the Spider. And that is all you need to know.
Is that one of the lieutenants? One of the
You don't know the
pedals?
lieutenants, actually, so...
Oh,
could
we've
be.
only known a few of them.
Yeah, it could very well be one of the lieutenants, in fact.
I turned to Jean-Jacques and said, did she just give us her name, even though we didn't agree? She said we would know if we worked together, that she's the spider, but I know now.
Just Barnack, we
I know
can't
now.
have a whole conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
As
can't
they're
discuss
doing
complex,
as
complex
they're doing
ideas.
that, like I'm looking at Barnack, I take out my headband of intelligence and I with a aggressive kind of almost gesture, I just put it on Barnack's head.
Oh boy.
I kneel in front of him and I say, "Do you see now?"
Okay, Barnack,
Let's
your
see.
intelligence goes
your
up to 19.
intelligence is
It's-
19
Is
intelligence
it
now.
attunement or not? What did we
It's
say?
not.
No, not
It's not?
attunement.
Okay.
Wait, is it? Didn't you check
don't
it later
think
and
it
you
has
said
to
it
be.
was?
Has to be a headband of intellect. Has to be a attunement.
Yeah, because I remember
Regardless
you...
of vulgar strength are.
Yeah, I remember-
because you were surprised that they weren't attunement, and then you went like, "Oh no, actually."
And then
it
I
is
said,
attunement.
yeah.
No,
let me check
requires
again.
attunement. Then never mind. I
Requires
don't
attunement.
do
Yeah.
that.
No. So
I
you
don't
put
do
it
that.
on. No, you put it on. Do I see what?
And then I,
It's
just...
too big for my head.
Okay. Yeah, I just take it out, I put it back on, and I say, "Never mind, Barnack. I managed to be more stupid than you right now. Please, ma'am, as we're trying to do this, understand that this is a hard position to be in. Just, keep them I'm particularly afraid of these creatures, if I may be honest with you. So keep them at hand, please.
Given a
I-
question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mara.
I'm just gonna lean over in between like Jean-Jacques and Barnack because I came up behind them slowly. Like, I know I gave you the paperwork and all, but I've been with you guys for like a day and a half.
You're a Nationhart now. Remember
Fuck.
that.
Myra, that's the things that happen when you
But
walk with us.
question
Everybody
to
wants to take control of us as we look like such a powerful weapon, don't we, Miss Spider?
This is a
Ke-
situation of your own making. You have impressed, and now the impressive wish to talk to you.
Kevin, question.
Yes.
The thing that I have, Hunter's Sense,
Mm-hmm.
it is an action to discern their whatever they are and everything like that.
Okay.
But it doesn't say that they would know that I did it.
Okay.
It's just a ranger thing.
What is it supposed to discern? Their creature type? Or?
I'll give you the whole thing.
Appear the creature and magically discern how best to hurt it. As an action, choose one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. You immediately learn whether the creature has any damage resistance, immunities, resistances, vulnerabilities, and what they are. The creature is hidden from divination magic. You sense that it has no damage immunities. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You could
Would
definitely
they know?
do that.
Would they know? That's my question.
I would say it's
'Cause-
definitely a very intense stare, but that's not necessarily out of character for Barnack.
Yeah. So I would like to use that and
Okay.
stare at one of them, and just
One of the spiders, or
one of the spiders.
Okay. Very good. I will send you the resistances or immunities on Discord.
Nice.
There you go.
I speak up and audibly so that it's addressed to the group, but I obviously intend the spider to hear as well. I say, the situation is a little bit more complicated than speak to the rose or die, because whether or not we die now and decide to go to the rose instead doesn't mean that we won't die when we do speak to the rose. There is no guarantee that the deal that we were offered at the table will be anything short of despicable or completely unacceptable. And I look towards Turnok, especially to those of us that have morals of a certain kind.
Does not apply to you.
It does not apply to me, no.
You
Well,
know the only people who answer to rhetoric interjections? Assholes. So I suggest that you stop doing so.
You know the only people who choose a moment to be a petulant child during a difficult negotiation are petulant children.
It's not a difficult negotiation. We only have one path.
The spider closest, the spider drake closest to you moves closer.
Can you two stop? I have a spider next to me. I don't want to actually pet this one. I usually like spiders, but not this one. So, Miss Spider, and I don't mean this one next to me. I mean you, the Miss thingy that talked. Do we have assurances that we won't be harmed until we speak to your master?
The master wishes to speak with you. I will not interfere in the master's will.
Okay. Just give us 1 second, and I'll just go to Tani and say, Tani, you're the only one sane here. Which do we go and hear them out?
Well, we heard what Pax had to say, the aboleth, and we heard. Well,
Shush!
sorry, I was so into Teddy, I forgot. Yes. Anyways, and we heard what.
Yes. So we are
Well,
people
not
that
actually.
hear things.
We core heard, so might as well
Yeah.
hear this one.
Yeah. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Miss Spider, can you take these spiders away and we will go to your master?
As you ask, the one behind you also skitters forward.
Yeah, that's not a way, Miss Spider. We will go and Listen to what your master says.
You may submit.
I give a slight tap on Barnack's back. You're cracking up. Compose yourself.
Yeah.
She comes forward slowly, stepping through the webs as if they're not there, along with Argyle. And she comes to this point, and she steps beside him. And she holds out her hand, and she just waits, and she says, "Which of you will submit first?"
I step forward and I get to.
Okay. She, as you step forward, in front of her, she puts a hand, very gentle, on your face and off to the side. And just for a moment, you feel a slight pressure as she grips your head, and then your mind just goes blank. Go ahead and roll a... unless you choose to fail, you can choose to fail, but you can roll a wisdom saving throw if you try to resist it in any way.
23.
23, okay. Your mind goes blank for maybe 3 seconds, and then your innate will and desire not to be, lose control of yourself resists the effect.
I just turn to her. No, I just say, I apologize. It's a natural reflect. Right?
Okay.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
I will
Can I use
say...
my reaction to identify the spell?
You may attempt to. Go ahead and roll a d20, and I will determine if it's good enough.
That is a 19.
Okay. It's not a known spell as such, but it's a magical effect, which is definitely, from what you can tell, meant to overpower the innate faculties of the mind. So it's similar to maybe a dominate person, but it has very distinct, unique elements that you're not familiar with. As Turnok resisted the spell the effect the first time, both of the spider drakes near you rose up and started leaning over you very, very aggressively. And only when he apologizes do they kind of settle back down.
Oh, it's spider.
Turnok, she
Go
attempts.
again. I won't interrupt this time. I'm sorry.
She attempts the spell again. So this time you choose to fail.
Yep.
Right. The hand again. You feel the brief pressure. Your mind goes blank. Pure white in front of your eyes. And the rest of you watch as Turnok tenses up again and just topples over backwards and falls to the ground. She steps over him. Hand extended to the next person.
Ah!
Who will submit next?
Submit! You made him die!
He lives. And so will you, until you have concluded
Did
your
I see
discussions
this
with the
Turnok's breathing?
master.
How can I... How truthful is she when she says that?
Make an insight check.
Just see what my insight is. 14 in total.
14. She seems to be completely truthful.
Well, I guess Tani, you're next.
Sorry if
I
that
was
was
about to say, I'm next. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. So Tani, as you step up to her, she kind of looks at you for a moment, and she's about to do the effect, right? She already has her hand up. She's about to take hold of your face and do the same thing. And then she looks at Barnack, she smiles, and she actually moves you over to the left side so that you don't fall into the pit behind you when you go unconscious. And she just gives Barnack a very, very lovely smile, in fact, before she gently,
Does Barnack fall in love?
That's up to Barnack. But before she gently puts a hand to the side of Tani's face, then, the fingertips to the back of the neck, and then you feel the same thing that Turnok did. Brief moment of pressure, And do you choose to resist it at any point, or do you also surrender to the effect?
I surrender.
Okay, so your sight goes white, and you topple over backwards, unconscious. She turns to the next person. The master is waiting.
Mm. Myra, it was nice knowing you. If this ends badly, but as I said, Tarnok doesn't have death on his list today, so we won't die. Don't worry, you can go next.
Okay. Madam Spider, can I at least like get lower to the ground this breastplate? I don't want to like damage it when I fall.
You are free to kneel before me,
Okay.
child.
I'll like kneel down.
Okay. So as you kneel down, she briefly waits a moment, of course, and then she takes a hold of your face as well. The fingers move to the back of the neck. You feel that brief moment of pressure. And do you choose to resist by instinct or consciously?
No.
Okay.
I'll let it go.
All right. So your vision goes white, and Myra, much more gently than the others probably, topples to the ground as well, sideways in this case, and maybe even crashes a little bit into Tani. But yeah, there's the two of you, and then leaving only Barnack and Jean-Jacques standing.
Jean-Jacques, it was nice knowing you. Really.
It was. You're definitely going before me.
But darn it.
You put us
Okay.
in this mess, so I get to watch.
Yeah. Also, if something happens, shoot me with my arrows. It's better.
I will.
Yeah. Come on, Lady Spider. Also, just so you know, I'm a panic freak, so if your spell doesn't work immediately, I'm sorry. You can do it again. I'll try.
She holds on for a moment, and actually swaps the staff to her other hand, and just gently puts the free hand now against your forehead, and almost lovingly pushes the hair back a little bit and puts it to the side of your head. She just says, shh, 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 shh. And then you feel the pressure. Do you have any resistance to the effects? Either just a knee-jerk reaction of trying to resist it, or...
Well, she's targeting Barnack's most precious weapon, which is his mind, so it would be a knee-jerk reaction to just stop it.
Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw.
That is an 8 in total.
8 or 18?
8.
Okay. So, despite Barnack almost, mentally flailing as he starts to lose control, there is an iron grip on his mind that takes him away, and his vision goes white, and he topples over to the ground. Lastly, she faces Jean-Jacques.
So before we get to her, while the rest were going through their ritual, I would have reached out to Oberon in my mind space and been like, after I saw what Turnock went through, be like, mon ami, do you know what this magic is?
You take a moment to feel out that presence of the strange elven sage that lives inside your ring, and then his voice and his presence come to you almost like a mental image standing beside you. It is dangerous, and I cannot accompany you there. But there are worse things than making bargains under pressure, especially with something of this magnitude. And besides, bargains can be broken. Be practical. I need you alive.
I need me alive as well. If I were to give you control now, would you be able to get us out of here?
Oh yes. You sense just the briefest like millisecond of eagerness from him, an emotion that escapes him before he can contain it.
And I pull out of the conversation. And as she's approaching me, I just think to the clockmaker's piece that's hanging around my neck. And I'd be like, if you believe that this shouldn't be in the hands of these people, probably now would be a good time to somehow whisk it away from me.
Okay. Make a religion check.
Okay. 10.
Okay. As she steps up and puts a hand to the side of your face, she is equally gentle as with the others. You feel the pressure in the back of your neck.
1 second.
Sure. You good?
Yeah, flipping a coin.
Okay. This effect happens regardless, so
Yeah.
before your consciousness fades, you just hear tick, 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 tick. Do you do anything?
No.
Okay. So Jean-Jacques' vision also fades to white as he is the last to fall to the ground. And although we are 15 minutes before our appointed end time, the next part will be incredibly involved, and we'll pick it up next time as we see whether you take the bargains offered by what she referred to as the Master. So, hi guys. How you
Not
doing?
familiar.
How are you doing? Are you okay?
Good, good. Lucky coin flip.
Oh yeah? What was the alternate? What were you flipping between?
Between giving Oberon control or not.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been something. Yeah. So, how are you guys doing? I know that was a dungeon crawl episode for a change, but how are you feeling? You okay? Nervous? It's okay to be nervous.
Very nervous.
I just, I wanted, like, I'm getting into, and it's been a few times now that I'd rather be anywhere dealing with the devil other than being right next to Jean-Jacques. Like, it's been a couple of times now, and, Turnok's just, this point, just forward mode,
Yeah.
straight on military.
Yeah, yeah. You guys are getting into some deep territory here.
Yeah. I don't think they gel well as characters.
I mean,
Because Turndog's solution is the exact opposite of what works with Jean-Jacques, so...
yeah, but I mean
Not a
that's compelling, right? Because if you manage to understand that you need each other regardless, or at least that you're going to be around each other, then that's where you get to play out some fun interactions.
Yeah.
As long as you guys are good with each other as players, it's all good.
Oh no, yeah, I've had trouble with that before. I've had a player actually, in real life getting upset at me because of how I played, and I was like, "Yo, bro, it's just a game, bro. It's just a game."
Just the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, poor Myra, kind of dragged along into all of this.
Been with them for like a day and a half.
Yep.
Not even, because I met you in the morning and then we immediately left, had that conversation, and then
Yeah, it's like you've been an astronaut for like 6 hours, I think.
That's the Asian hard experience.
What a mistake.
yeah, that's honestly like what the fuck.
I mean, to be
That's
fair, I
honestly-
would imagine that her previous group also ran into their very fair share of weird shit, because that's kind of the freelancer experience. But this is probably kind of a step up.
Maybe not my first 6 hours though.
Probably not. It's speedrunning the freelancer experience.
Yeah.
It's fine. All right. Anyway, I don't have any questions today. You guys have any questions you want to ask me or each other? Otherwise, I'm going to call the stream here.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I do have one question. Go ahead.
Question, and this is for other players. why didn't anyone stop me from agreeing to this when they said that we are going to? When we saw someone first Turnok just going down, why didn't anyone stop us? I cannot stop Barnack.
Turnuk already agreed.
But
I'm
fighting
down.
this
You
with
all
the-
were agreeing.
I'm.
I was like,
no,
I don't know.
No, I'm fine, but we're unconscious with two things, spiders. All of our belongings are there. Someone
Yeah.
should have
John
shot.
made the choice.
Someone should have shot Barnack. I even
Well-
gave you the idea. Shoot me with my arrows.
Yeah, Tanya is frankly curious because she was kind of curious about the aboleth. She wants to hear what he has to say, who he is. Maybe it's Pax in her, I don't know, weird mind. Maybe it's Pax trolling us. I don't know.
Oh, they had to. The reason why I took it, it's because they had the option to kill us right there and then, and
Yeah,
it
the
wouldn't
option
be
of killing them.
exactly, it wouldn't be exactly a fair fight. And, just based on what Kevin said about how I would know about these creatures, I would be extremely reluctant to actually engage in combat with them. So that's why I just went. I didn't want to fight them because, at least in my perspective, there's just a tiny chance of survival. That happening. Now there's zero chance because we're literally unconscious and they would just execute
Yeah.
us there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Well,
Back
But
into a corner.
I had one question.
Okay.
And this was something that I was thinking, not necessarily related to the event of today, but Jean-Jacques been pulling some shady shit around Turnok for a while now, and I'm just wondering how much of it has he noticed? The secret messages and whispers here and there, and the side conversations with characters that we've been talking to. I know no action has been taken upon that so far, but how much of that do I know, Bruno, and how much of that does Turnok know? How much of that has Turnok noticed so far? That's what I'm talking about. Do you think that's expressive? Not in the point of I know what you're doing, but I know you're doing something.
Asking me or asking Kevin?
Kevin, because Kevin controls my perspective, my perspective
Yeah.
on things. And most notably when only the two of us were talking to Argyle, and he passed a message to Argyle that was not related to the party. He said something, we'll be in contact or something like that. These things, these events, it happened like 2 or 3 times already in the same room as Turnok.
Right.
And he's a really perceptive guy.
Yeah, so that perception is definitely offset by the fact that Jean-Jacques is a very deceptive type of person, which is what fuels that. But I think rather than whether X or Y was noticed or not, I think it's more of a general awareness that he does have because of who he is. But because of who Jean-Jacques is, he doesn't know what that is. And that's probably the source of some of these frustrations that are cropping up, because something's going on, but you don't know what, which inherently breeds mistrust, right? So I would take it from that perspective of, okay, I'm noticing that things are happening, but I can't pinpoint what it is. I can't pinpoint the exact moment of like, hey, here he made a deal behind our back or whatever. But rather than just that something is going on.
Yeah.
And then I would suggest that maybe you two have a chat about, some of the details that, maybe Nicola, you can take the lead on what Jean-Jacques might have noticed about, or what Turnok might have noticed about Jean-Jacques, things that you're willing to provide as clues, where that makes sense. And feel free to run them by me as well. And then on the opposite side as well, obviously, make sure to use that information as sparingly as possible, in the sense of, Jean-Jacques is still a very capable political operative, right? So he doesn't give things away.
Because the way that I was acting upon it is just the exact thing, the exact thing that you said. There's something.
Yeah.
There's some shit going on.
Yeah.
But like really not a clue of what, you know, just
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. But I think
Okay.
you guys are good enough role players to discuss this amongst yourselves and kind of decide, okay, how are we going to
Okay.
play this out and what makes sense in terms of the information that is available. So please have a talk about that and let me know what the outcome is. But feel free to determine that amongst yourselves as well, because otherwise I'm just playing a useless middleman, which
Yeah.
I already do for 2 hours on Sunday, so it's fine.
because I don't want to know too much as well, because you know me Bruno knowing would change the way that I play
Yeah.
Turlock as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we have 2 questions from the chat, actually. So for JJ, first from Simon. How happy are you with the spells that Milosh used last session for Jean-Jacques?
I understand him wholeheartedly. I watched it back, and I'm content with his choice. Hurts to lose a level 3 spell slot, but I wholeheartedly approve. That was painful,
Okay.
very painful. So I understand and commiserate. I played a fighter / paladin last campaign, so I know the pain. I know
Fair
the
enough.
pain.
Fair enough. And
And you like Shield so much, so
what? So much. I mean, these guys have shield. That just it happens. What can you do?
gives plus 5 AC to everybody. Yeah, I get it. So I approve.
All right. And second question from Harathir of the Ruined Keep. For Myra, are those prosthetic ears or filters?
Neither. They are attached to my headphones.
Nice.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they're really cool.
Wow.
I love these.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're super
wow.
cool. All right. Well, that concludes our little after chat. Before we go, 2 things. We're going to raid because the Role Players Guild just went live, so I would love if everyone just briefly stopped by. If you don't have time to watch, just at least hop by. Because, look, again, just so you don't forget, they sent me this amazing dice box, which is beautiful, and I love it. And it is so wonderful. See, I already stored all the dice in there right now, but it was handmade by their dungeon master for today, Falcon, I'm not sure, but they're amazing and I love them. So please go support them in any way that you can. Make sure to follow them on Twitch. Make sure to follow us on Twitch as well if you haven't yet. I appreciate all of you for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time on Tales of Edeah. Oh, and before I forget, Tuesday is the Ruined Keep at 8 p.m. GMT, 9 p.m. CET, which is an amazing stream, which you should definitely be watching. So, see you there, hopefully. And we'll be raiding now, but in the meantime, bye-bye, everyone, and see you next time.
Bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye, everyone.
See you.